All right, folks. So that was our 10 matches with the Raging Bolt EX. And to recap where we started, after we finished up with the last deck, we had a rating in the Master League of 1546. And then immediately starting with Raging Bolt, started off with 3 losses against a Marnie's Grimmsnarl EX deck, which actually did utilize the Marnie's Morpeko. And so in that deck, I was just relying on the Teal Mask Ogerpon because all of those Pokemon have the grass type weakness, but she would power up the Morpeko and was one-shotting them. So it was a build that I had not seen before, I wasn't ready for, and I was still not sure how to use the deck, so I lost that one. Then I lost to a Dragapult EX, a Charizard EX, again, because I wasn't quite sure of the sequencing of this deck. But luckily, in my 4th match, I did get a win, Teal Mask Ogerpon, and they did concede, so I guess my setup was better and theirs was not, so they kind of gave up fairly early. And then I had a mirror match against a Raging Bolt. That one was a lot of fun. There was a lot of the same stuff happening back and forth, and actually did end up winning because they decked out. It was their turn. Both of us, I think, were down to our last prize and couldn't take it, and I realized it while the other person didn't, so I just kind of stopped and passed, and they lost. Immediately following that, I lost to another Charizard EX, and that one, they played really well, and they made perfect use of the Briar card. They used the Curse Blast to blow up their own Dusclops and put me down to 2 prizes, used the Briar, and then claimed their last 3 prizes on one of my Raging Bolts. So that was one of the best uses that I've seen of that card. They did. That was, even though I lost, it's like that was cool to see. Then I won the next 2, so I got my revenge on a Charizard EX. And right after that, I faced a Conkeldurr deck, which I had not faced at all in, I think, ranked or casual before. But it is one that we did see do really, really well, actually, in this last regionals in Frankfurt, Germany. And it looked like a lot of fun. I have actually done a casual or 2 with it, so I'll have to record a battle with that deck and post it for you guys. Lost to Resolute Heart Pikachu. They just kind of had all of the pieces they needed. They gave it the Sparkling Crystal. I didn't even try to take it down. I was trying to go around it rather than through it, and it wound up being my downfall. And then finished up with a win against a Gholdengo EX. They also conceded early. I had my board set up very quickly, like within 1 to 2 turns, and they didn't have anything, so they just kind of gave it up. But overall, I did end up with a 50% win rate on this, 5 wins, 5 losses. I wasn't even sure I was going to be able to hit that just because of the way that I started with 3 losses. And then 50-50 here. After 60 matches played, I've got a 65% win rate, which is better than any of the ranked seasons that I've ended in the past. Normally I'm in like the mid-50s. So using these decks in the meta makes a difference, there's a reason that they're popular, that they're used a whole lot, and yeah, they tend to be good. But of course, a deck is only as good as its pilot, so if there's one that you want to try out, make your main. The biggest thing you can do is play lots of games, and so early on in the ranked ladder, you don't lose anything for losing, so you may as well try there. Once you get to the Ultra League, if you're still not sure or need to do some play testing, then do that in casual. And then of course, once you're in Master, I don't think you get anything extra for certain ratings. As far as I know, everybody who gets to the Master League gets the Master League rank rewards, and then the season end rewards actually are not even that great by comparison, because It's just play X number of ranked matches and you get these rewards. So if they ever do release something where getting a higher rating in the Master League gets you something additional, then I'm going to try harder. But of course, trying to get these matches in before Mega Evolutions drops, and there's only about a week left, so I don't think I'm going to get to both Dragapult and Gholdengo, but I should be able to finish up my 10 matches with Dragapult, and then we'll see where we stand after 70. But alright, that's it with Raging Bolt. Moving on to Dragapult, and we'll see y'all over there.